Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're not already subscribed, there's a red subscribe button. Hit it so you can see every time I have a new video. So today I'm going to do a little chit chat video. I've never done one of these before, but it's nice to just be able to sit down and talk to you guys just without any plans, without any structures, and just let things flow. Today it's going to be kind of a mommy related chit chat video, and I am going to talk about breastfeeding. So my breastfeeding experience, my breastfeeding essentials, and just kind of, you know, to kind of be that support for other people because it can be very difficult. So if you want to hear about my breastfeeding experience, my story, and my breastfeeding must-haves, then keep watching. Okay, so I am going to start by telling you guys a little bit about my breastfeeding experience. So I knew I wanted to breastfeed because I felt that that was the best thing for the baby, and I also thought, you know what, this is the best option. It's natural. It's something that you are able to do for your child. Why not? It's cheaper than, you know, buying formula. It's not completely free because there are things you have to have when you're breastfeeding, or that you would like to have to make things easier. So there's cost involved in that sense, but it's a lot easier than having to buy formula all the time and prep the bottles and stuff like that. So I decided I wanted to breastfeed, but nobody told me how difficult breastfeeding really could be. So I would say the first 3 weeks were complete hell. I'm not going to mince words with you guys. It was awful. There were nights where I would be crying in pain as she was feeding, because it just hurt. So there were points where my nipples, they didn't crack or anything like that, but they were so sore and so tender, and her latch was perfect, but honestly she has a really strong suck, and she has a really, like, she's aggressive when she's coming to latch. She's like, let me feed right now. So it was just painful. It was not about the latch, and you know, it was just the fact that it was painful for me. There were times where I just wanted to quit. I just wanted to do the formula. I wanted to bottle feed because it was so difficult. And you know, before you breastfeed, you don't know a lot about baby's feeding schedule. So in the beginning you have the colostrum, and that's what you have for probably about the first 3 days. For me, it was the first 3 days. On the 3rd day, that is when my milk came in. But in order to bring your milk in, there is a day where your baby wants to basically feed nonstop, what they call cluster feeding. And your baby is feeding maybe every half an hour. And this is basically making your body produce milk. It's bringing out your milk and bringing out the quantity of milk that they need. So every time, there's times where your baby's going through a growth spurt, and they're cluster feeding and they're trying to bring in more milk, and they're feeding so often, and I didn't know about that. So on top of the fact that my nipples were so sore that I was crying half the time, then she was wanting to feed, and it's really like 2 hours. You're feeding your baby approximately every 2 hours, and that's from the start to start. So it's not like I fed her for half an hour and then now the clock resets. The clock starts as soon as I start that first feed. I know 2 hours from this point is her next feed. So sometimes when your baby feeds so long, some babies might feed for 20 minutes, they might feed for half hour, they might feed for 45 minutes. You're so close to having to feed them again that it's like you don't get any break. Thankfully what I did was that, she was always very satisfied feeding on one breast only per feeding, so I never really switched her back and forth, but I never had any issues because she was feeding so frequently. I never had any issues with like more milk in one side than the other. I think at one point I did. There was a certain breast that was producing more milk and was getting engorged over the other, but yes, that was mostly the time. It wasn't a problem, so she would feed on one side and then she'd sleep and she was content. So at least it gave the other breast a chance to relax. But even then, it was not enough. It was to the point where anything that touched them hurt. My bras hurt, my clothes, taking a shower, drying off after a shower. Like, my nipples were like, they just were killing me. And there were points where I thought, I don't know that I can do this. Like, this is really, really hard. And, you know, I wasn't feeling motivated. I wasn't feeling like encouraged to do it until I went to when I had one of my midwife appointments where they talked about how much weight she had gained. And when we went in, they said basically she had gained 2 pounds. So she was 9 pounds and her birth weight was 6 pounds 14 ounces. And by that third visit, so I had a midwife, so my midwife came on day 1 after she was born, day 1, day 3, and day 5. And by that second or third visit in that same week, her first week, she had already regained her birth weight. So she lost some of that birth weight and she regained it all back in less than a week. So I knew she was getting enough, and so that kind of helped me, that when I went in and they said she was 9 pounds, I was like, I can't believe in 2 weeks she gained that much weight. Usually they say that they like them to gain at least an ounce a day, and she was way over that. She was gaining like a pound a week. So that really motivated me to know that she was getting what she needed, that she was good, she was healthy, she was happy, and that kind of helped me to kind of press through. And then I did start to pump. So I was pretty reluctant because I was not a fan of giving her the bottle. I was really scared that she was going to, you know, have nipple confusion and that she wasn't going to want to latch on anymore. And so I really didn't want to do the bottle. But for my own sanity and also for me to be able to do, you know, even small things, run small errands, go and get my hair done, get my nails done, or something like that, I need to be able to kind of have a milk supply so that whoever's watching her, it's my mom or my husband, that they have milk and they have something for her. So I did purchase a pump and I did start to pump, and I've started to store it because I don't give her a bottle unless it's absolutely necessary. So I usually have the milk available for her, but for most times if she sleeps while I'm gone, I'm pretty good and nobody has to worry really about giving her the bottle. So she's had a bottle probably about 4 times and she's about 6 weeks old. So we've not had any issues with the nipple confusion. What I have is the Medela bottles and the Calma nipples that it comes with. I can show you guys kind of what that looks like. It's the one that came with the pump, and it doesn't let milk come out unless she sucks on it. So it kind of really mimics that that feeling and that motion of breastfeeding. So that kind of helped, but the pumping helped me to deal with being engorged, and it also helped me to, you know, increase my milk supply because I wanted to make sure that I was keeping up with what she needed and I was able to produce more milk and also have milk set aside. And so when she wasn't eating, I had somewhere to put that milk and to store it. So that was really great. And so now we're about 6 weeks in, and breastfeeding is a breeze. Like, we're both pros. I feel like she's learned a lot through breastfeeding and she's eating way more efficiently, and I feel calmer. I'm not stressed about it because I feel like that was projecting onto her. I feel a lot more calm. It's like just a nice experience with her, knowing that it, you know, kind of comforts her, and it's special time that I get to spend with her and a bond that I have that nobody else has. It's something that I can give her that nobody else can give her. So it's that nice moment that we have, and the fact that it's easier now just makes it more beautiful, because I think people always talk about that, saying how beautiful breastfeeding is, what a bonding moment it is with your baby, but they don't tell you the hell that you go through to get there, because it is not initially like you have your baby and all of a sudden you're just breastfeeding and it's beautiful forever and ever. Maybe some people, but for most people there is at least 2 or 3 weeks where it's painful and you almost start to feel like you don't want to do it anymore. So I'm really glad that I kind of pushed through, I persevered, I continued to do it. I really feel like it was the best thing for her and the best thing for me. So I couldn't be happier that we are where we are right now. So that is pretty much my breastfeeding story. I will now show you guys all the breastfeeding products that things that I found have helped me get through and have helped me during this journey. If you guys want to see a breastfeeding tips video, leave a comment down below and I can definitely do that for you guys. So let's get into my products. Okay, so here are the products that helped me through breastfeeding, and these are absolute essential items for me. So the first thing is my pump. I have the Medela Freestyle double pump. It's an electric pump and it makes life really easy. I don't always do double pumping at the same time. I usually will do one side and then save the other side. Because she feeds so frequently, I don't like to pump on both sides at the same time. But this is what it looks like. And on here, basically you can change like the levels of how hard you want your suction to be, and you control that. And also, like, when you start to let down, you can just, you know, kind of start that right away. It times everything for you, so it tells you how long you've been pumping, and you can also set your favorite settings. So if there's a certain flow that you always like to use, or a certain time that you amount of time you like to pump, you can kind of preset that so you don't have to do it every single time. And so what it has is this tube here that has the suction. This would go into the suction part for that covers your nipple, and it has two, but if you're not using one, I just clip it in, and that's what connects to your bottle. And so the other thing that I wanted to show you guys real quick is the bottle and nipple that I use, because I find that this helped ease my transition. So this is the bottle. It's just the regular Medela. It's 150 milliliters, so 5-ounce bottle. And this is the Calma nipple. So if you guys can see what this looks like. So this is the Calma nipple. So this is an extra cover that you can put onto your bottle. And this is obviously the cover. And this here is the nipple. So this is the part that screws into the bottle. And this is the nipple part. And so the water doesn't flow, the milk doesn't flow unless baby is sucking on it. So it is the closest thing to breastfeeding. The next item that is a must-have for me is a good nursing pillow. So I used to use like just a regular boppy pillow, but what I found was that it wasn't having her high enough, and it was so soft that she was like kind of sinking into it. It didn't help her to stay awake because she always tended to fall asleep while breastfeeding. It didn't keep her awake, and so I just felt like it wasn't working for us. So what I did buy was the My Breast Friend. This pillow saved my life. So this is what it looks like. So it has a strap here that you clip in, and it goes around your back, and this part here gives you kind of that back support, so that because your back could really kill while you're sitting there breastfeeding. And then this is the part here where you lay the baby down. So this part here, it supports their neck while they're feeding. It even comes with a little pocket here where you could put your water bottle or any like breastfeeding things. Like I would put my nursing pads in there when I would take them out, or I would keep my nipple cream in there. Just something like if you're walking around with it. Sometimes I'd slip my phone in there. But this pillow saved my life. It's firm enough that I could lay her on it, gives her enough space, gives her support, and it gives me back support, and I feel like it just helped make breastfeeding easy. I will link all the items that I am talking about down below if I can find them. I will link them in the description box. The next thing that I really need, which I talked about, was nursing pads. So I have two different types of nursing pads that I use. So I use reusable ones. So these are reusable nursing pads, and they are by the brand, I think it's Nuke, how you pronounce it. It's N-U-K. So these ones, I like them because they're a good size, they're big, they're very absorbent, and so they really help. And I really like to use these, you know, during the day, because they're so in and out. Even at night, it's so in and out, in and out, in and out with your breastfeeding, that you want something that's going to protect you, but something that's easy to remove. And honestly, nursing pads are not cheap, and so I found that buying reusable ones that I could wash was the best option for me. I find that I need them more at night than during the day, because I find that is when I leak the most while I'm sleeping, especially if she sleeps longer periods at night, then I may have some more leaking at night. But I really do love these pads. I love that they're reusable, but I also use disposable ones. My favorite are the Philips Event ones. These are the ones that are for nighttime. They are so absorbent, they're cushy, they're soft, and they're large, because I find that at night you're going from side to side, the boobs, they're squishing together, they're moving around or whatever. These always cover, and I don't have to worry about leaking through my bra or leaking onto the bra or anything like that. These really help. So if you invest in some reusable ones that are fantastic, because they save you on your money, and they're also great, but also having, you know, the disposable ones maybe for at night, or if you're going somewhere during the day, maybe you just want to pack some just in case, especially if you feel like you're not always going to leak, so you don't want to wear them constantly. Disposable ones are good, but make sure you get a good brand. So these are the ones that I like to use. The next thing that I use that are also for my nipples, to keep them, especially in those first 3 weeks, man, these were a lifesaver. So the first thing is, this is the Lancino. This is the HPA lanolin, and it says it soothes, softs, and protects dry, cracked nipples. And this was great because you don't have to remove it prior to breastfeeding. It's fine for baby. It doesn't have to worry about it. What I like about this is that it is so thick, and I found like it just gave my nipples a good coating, and they would just feel so much, like, just feel so soothed by and I just love that it was thick and you didn't have to use so much because of that. But I really love the way that this like helped my nipples. I mean, it doesn't feel nice, the consistency, because it's thick, but when you put it on, it's just so soothing and healing. And then I also found that like after I would put my like nipple cream on, the best thing to do is to kind of air it out. Like, don't always keep them covered, like just let them air out and just like heal. It's like having a cut. If you cover your cut 24/7, it takes longer to heal than if sometimes you take off your band-aid and you let that cut air out. So sometimes, ladies, free the boobs, okay? Forget free the nipple. Free the boobs and free the nipple, free everything for breastfeeding. So this is what I really liked. And I also really, really love Earth Mama Angel Baby, the Mama's Nipple Butter. This thing is like heaven. One of my coworkers actually told me to get this because she said it was really gonna help. This is fantastic. It smells like cocoa butter, and it just has like a great look to it. It has a very smooth consistency, and it's all natural, so that's what I really like about it. It's a lanolin-free balm made with natural oils, naturally sourced plant butters, and natural botanicals for tender breastfeeding nipples. No need to wash off before nursing. And so that was great too, that this, because I know some people don't like the lanolin, but this one you didn't have to remove. It was completely natural. It had a great scent. It went on really nice, and made your nipples feel really silky. So I really, really like this as well. The next thing that I have, which is also from Earth Mama Angel Baby, is the Earth Mama Angel Baby Milkmaid Tea. This is an organic herbal tea for breastfeeding mamas. It's caffeine free, no non-GMO project verified. It's organic, and it's just really great for increasing your milk supply. So if you feel like your milk supply is lessening, or I find that when baby is cluster feeding and they want more and more milk from you, this really helps to kind of keep up with it. And also it helps if you want to be able to pump as well, pump extra milk. This really helps. I like the taste. I think it tastes great. I think some people like it warm, some people like it cold. I'll drink it any which way. And it says, they suggest that you have 1 to 3 cups a day. I usually drink 1 to 2. Sometimes I drink it right before bed, or I drink it first thing in the morning. but this tea is great. It tastes great. I find that it really helps to increase when I take it. I notice that change in my milk supply, so I think that this is a great product. The next thing that I have are my nursing bras. They are a lifesaver for me, guys. So the nursing bras that I bought are from Time Maternity. So one that I have here is a nursing bralette. So it has inside, so it's a nursing bralette. So it has the clips on it, and it has the pads inside that you can take out if you want, but they don't have any wire, and so they're just really like stretchy, really smooth, and bendable like any other bralette, and so it's more comfortable for sleeping. And I also have two different types. I only have one here, two different types of nursing bra. One is like a high full coverage one, and one is a demi cut. So this one is the one that is the demi cut bra. I like this in the day for sometimes I'm wearing a tank top, and so I don't want the full coverage bra, but these are great. They feel great. This one is the nude one that I bought, so I have a nude and a black. They feel great. Obviously they clip off, so it makes it easy for breastfeeding. They're very, very comfortable. The difference is the other one that I have that is the full coverage one doesn't have an underwire, and these ones do have an underwire. So basically just comes down to your preference, but I think it's really important to invest in some good quality nursing bras. They make life easier when you're breastfeeding, especially if you're out in public. You don't want to be fiddling with everything, trying to pull stuff up, pull things down, and things like that. And at night or during the day when it's just easy to unclip it, it's like a godsend. And the other thing that goes along with it, which I don't think I have one to show you guys, but it's nursing tanks. I had my mom help me in making some nursing tanks, so if you guys are interested in that, I can definitely do a video showing you guys how to do your own DIY nursing tanks, but that kind of helps with it too. The last thing that is so important for breastfeeding, and this is something that is really, really helpful for me to have, is a water bottle. So this is the one that I have. It's like this giant one that looks like a mason jar, but it's actually plastic. It's a double layer one. But this is the water bottle that I have with me basically at all times. So I don't know if you guys can see, but it has these markings here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I guess up to here would be 6. So it's about 6. And each one of those is a cup. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cups of water basically. So I would just fill this up all the time during the day, at night. Make sure you have it at your nursing station. I carry my water wherever I go. I carry this bottle to my parents' house. I have it in the bedroom, in the living room, but some people prefer to have water bottles wherever, like just regular bottles of water. This, at least I know how much water I've had for the day, whereas if I was drinking from multiple bottles, it's harder for me to keep track of them. But whichever way works for you guys, having a water bottle and drinking your water will also help to keep up your milk supply and help to increase it by making sure that you are hydrated, means baby gets to feed. So those are pretty much all of my breastfeeding essentials. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope that this video was helpful for somebody out there, especially if you're feeling like you're struggling with breastfeeding, you want to give up. It's so hard. It is so rewarding, and honestly 100% worth it in the end, because if somebody had, I couldn't imagine I would have been saying this if I knew that I would be in this place that long ago. I'd be like, whatever, I'm giving up. That's a joke. Honestly, push through as long as you can. Try your best. Try different things to get you through, because honestly, it is just an amazing experience and one of the best things that you can do for your baby. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this video was super helpful. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Love you guys. Bye.